What up, Ashy Knuckles? Yo, it's Mr. Thraz. Alright, there's a few things I have to say. And it's in direct conflict with your assessment of scoring for Carl Froch versus um, Dirrell, Andre Dirrell. One thing that really gets me about that fight is how many people are taking points away from Dirrell for how he fought on the inside. The fact of the matter is, you can't take points away from him on how he fought on the inside. If he's holding, the only person who could take a point away from him for that is the ref. And the ref didn't do that. Not saying he fought a fight worthy of championship material. But the ref, when he took points away for nothing. He took points away for Dirrell hitting on the back of the head, which, if anything, I would have took a point away from Dirrell for for all the doggone head work he was trying to do. He didn't take a point away for that. He took away a point for headbutting, for behind the head work, which is what Froch was doing all night. And I don't think you could take away a bunch of points from Dirrell um, for not acting in a championship classy manner when Froch was being an absolute classless guy. I mean, whenever he got the opportunity, whenever Dirrell would slip a shot or skip out of the way of a shot, Froch would do things like try to rabbit punch it. If he slipped a shot and slipped up under a right hand, Froch would take his elbow and push him down. That's not championship caliber. So if you're gonna say I'm not gonna give him a point, I'm not gonna give Dirrell a point for all the work he's doing because he just did something I find disgraceful and despicable, then you have to take a point away from Froch for the same thing. But neither one of those things should be possible. The the judges can only give points. They can give 9 or 10. That's it. And another thing that really, really, really got me was all of this. He came forward. He came forward, and that's what some judges were looking for. Yeah, it's good to come forward. If you're coming forward trying to make the fight, that looks good. But if your game plan is to come forward and force the other guy to fight, if you can't do it, then to me you don't get points for that. If you can't make him fight, then you're losing. I mean, as sad as it is to say, because of Dirrell's behavior, he should have been getting points for ring generalship in defense. Because this guy was an absolute nothing. And I mean, all the holding that was going on, it takes two to hold. It really does. My trainer used to say that, and, it took a long time for me to realize that. But when you're getting held, if you don't get low and start rattling off short shots, you are complicit in the holding. That's what you got to do. When someone holds you, you get low, rattle off shots. He knows that. He's been training his whole life. Now, both of them behaved in a way that I don't think professional fighters of this level and caliber should behave. That being said, since both of them were doing it, what you have left is who scored more and who scored better. And on both of those counts, what you have is Dirrell. Now, you might want to morally give it to Froch, but you can't because they were both acting in a despicable manner. Froch, in my opinion, was behaving much more despicable than Dirrell. Be that as it may, You can't take points away from either of them for despicable behavior. Only the ref can do that. So I have a problem with it. I have a problem simply because I scored the fight after looking at it on YouTube. I have Dirrell winning the first, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, losing the eighth, um, losing the ninth, tying in the 10th, winning the 11th, and winning the 12th. Now, you might not agree with my scoring. You might say some of those rounds are close. I don't see how any of the rounds that Dirrell won are close. I think all of those rounds he won pretty straightforward. But you might, disagree with that. Okay, I can deal with that. But all the rounds that Froch won were close, very, very, very close, and I don't see how anybody could think that. I actually could think of this as a 2-point, as a 2-point fight for Froch, meaning that without me looking for rounds to give to him, I would have only gave him 2 rounds. Also, that being said, this guy, these 2 judges, they gave Froch the 11th and 12th. The Italian and the Belgian guy, or whatever he was, not the Mexican, but they gave Froch the 11th and 12th. That right there shows you something is wrong, because there's no way in hell you're gonna give Froch the 11th and 12th. I go on boxing boards a lot, and I talk to people just because I love boxing and I'm not doing it anymore. So, I love being around it, turning into a friggin' gym rat, and it's disgusting. But I love the sport. And when things like this happen, it's incredible to me. Still, to this day. I mean, my father took me into my gym when I was like 12 years old. And through all this time, the thing that has really, really, really upset me the most is horrible scoring. Because it just doesn't make sense, and we just eat it. We listen to the commentators, and the commentators are saying this is a really close fight, and I don't see where it's close. If a guy is getting battered about, even if the guy battering him about is winning rounds by holding, unless the ref takes a point away, he's winning those rounds. He should have paid for his behavior with loss of fans, which is how you were supposed to pay for behavior like that in the boxing ring, not with loss of not with loss of points. The only person who could take points away for behavior unbecoming is the referee. And refs these days, I don't know what's going on with them. I saw a fight a few years ago with Emmanuel Augustus, where the ref took a point away from Emmanuel for slipping a shot. These days it's really weird. They want you to be a barbarian in there. They don't want to see skill. And that's all it showed me, is that they didn't want to see any skill. They saw Froch cheating, and they said, well, he's going to make the fight if he continues to do this. Let's go ahead. And then when Dirrell started to retaliate and hold, because this guy is cheating and hitting him behind the head whenever he starts slipping, that's making the fight boring. You should stand there and take a beating like a man, young man. That don't go well for me. This is the art of hitting without getting hit. So, to me, it was a disgusting, ugly fight that Dirrell won. He should have been awarded it and paid for his behavior with loss of fans and loss of people wanting to come see the next fight. Be that as it may, I see a lot of problems